How to be too big for your breeches to supersize and grow your business. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Pair of breeches, or also known as pants, breeches, britches. A couple hundred years ago, that's what pants were called. They were called britches. Get your britches on, get your pants on. Now, being too big for your britches back in the day meant being overly confident, conceited, full of yourself, all puffed up, like the idiom we talked about a month ago, stuffed shirt, being so full of yourself and so full of self-confidence and self-worth and overconfidence sometimes that you're a stuffed shirt. Now, sometimes we're just too big for our breeches because we've been locked down in COVID, or we've been eating too many sea salt caramels. But other times or we're not getting enough exercise. Other times we're too big for our breeches in terms of being overconfident, acting in a way that other people judge, and it's always other people judging, right? Is too much, too confident, too over the top. Now, maybe you've experienced this. Maybe you've been told you're too big for your britches, or you're acting out of place, or you don't know your place. Has anyone ever been told, hey, you don't know your place, get back in your place? Hate that. It's like, put me in this box and keep me there. So how do you know if somebody is actually authentic and really who they are and they're confident, versus they're just dressing for success, or dressing for the job they want, or dressing for the part, or acting all puffed up and phony and acting as if they've got all this confidence, but they really don't? How do you tell the difference? Well, the biggest way is looking at people's body language, looking them in the eye, looking at their facial expressions, looking at, are they sweating on the brow? Are they slouching their shoulders? But checking out their actual physical body language, because somebody can, dress up and look really fancy and write a good game, right? Maybe you go to someone's website and you interview them off their website, and they look so professional and so amazing, and you meet them in person and you're like, whoa, total mismatch. That's how I describe authenticity. If the person that you see and the way they're presented matches who they really are all the time, that's authentic. So have you ever been told you're too big for your britches? I've actually been told I am too big for my britches. I remember in college, there's always a teacher or a person or a relative or a friend or a social acquaintance, even a stranger, that feels the need to judge and put other people in their place. I remember in college, we went to college, and there's always a professor who feels like it's their job to beat down their students and only give so many A's, be super duper hard on them. They teach you one thing and they test you on another. Anybody had any of those experiences? I remember my first boss out of college was, she actually told me I was too big for my britches and that I was acting too confident, and that I needed to tone it down a bit so that, it wouldn't impact the other new hires that started around the same time that I did. And it turns out she did everything in her power at every opportunity and every turn to put me in my place where she thought I belonged, to pound me down and beat me down and try to undermine me in that job and location. And we ended up finding ways to work together, because I was like, there's no way I'm letting one person ruin this experience and this opportunity for me. And then later on, it was probably 12 years later, we ran into each other again, and I was the vice president of a label printing company, and she worked for the manufacturer that we had both worked for, but in a different location. And she was buying our labels, and so we crossed paths and ended up working together again, and it was a great relationship. We worked much better as peers than we did as boss and subordinate. So sometimes people think that we're too big for our britches, but it's other people judging us. The only person that can really decide and know if you're too big for your britches or not is you. This idiom is actually a couple hundred years old, and it came from and was first published in 1835, although it had been popular before that. Davy Crockett actually used it and wrote it in something that he wrote called, I think it was called Tour to the North and Down East, or something like that. I've never read it, but that's where it was actually first published. But oftentimes we are treated like, or we treat other people like they're too much, or they're not in the right place. And I guess my question is always, who am I to judge? Who am I to judge how other people behave? But there's always a clear way to find people that are authentic and real and bring them into our organization, and to I guess always treat people the way you want to be treated, right? Isn't that just an easy rule of thumb? And remember, we will be judged, but it's not for us to necessarily judge. Yeah, if you're hiring somebody, you get to decide if you're going to hire them or not. Are they a good fit for your organization? But how do you know if somebody is really confident or if they're just putting on a facade? If you've ever been online and looked at marketing or online marketing, you see a whole lot of fake, not authentic, basic lies presenting material and capabilities in ways that people are faking it till they make it. But you also see people that are very authentic, being open, and it's based on the fact that they have real experience. They've got real experience doing what it is that they're telling you that they can do, and they can demonstrate that pretty easily through stories, testimonials of people that they've worked with and helped, organizations and things and accomplishments they've had. They can list those off very easily if they're the real deal, if they've really had experience, if they've really done the things that they're confident in, that they've, hey, I've done this for another company. I am 100% confident I can do it for you. I've done this for 6 companies. Boom, 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 boom. Here's why I am confident I can do it for you. There's a big difference in that than there is in the person that says, well, I've done other things similar in the past, therefore I know that I can do this too. Well, that's true, but sometimes you want a proven track record. You want to bring people on board that have already proven that they have the ability to do what it is that they say they can do. All right, I'm getting off track. I'm thinking of people putting other people down, because that was our challenge for the fun challenge today. It was sometimes you need to put people in their place. And I'm like, no, not necessarily. So I would love to know your experience with this idiom. Has anyone ever told you you're too big for your britches? Has anyone ever treated you like you're too big for your britches? Because I think that it's an interesting topic, and it deserves some exploration. How could you use it in your business? We want to exalt our customers, but we also want to make sure that we're exalting our people, our team members, our people that help us to create what it is and do what it is that we do for our customers. Have an awesome day. I'll be with you tomorrow with another interesting idiom. What does it mean? Where does it come from? And how might you use it in your business today? Take care.